Alright folks, good evening. I'm just about to head to bed, got my jammies on. I wanted to do a video to follow through with the first video we did on sleep, which we talked about why it's important to really, for your health, to have a good sleep habit. In this video I'm going to talk about, that video we talked about why it's important. In this video I'm going to talk about what a good sleep cycle looks like, and also what are some things you can do to make sure that you can get a good night's sleep. In the next video we're going to cover about some tips on how to do that. But in this video, let's talk about a couple things. First, I got to talk about the elephant in the room. I don't figure this out yet. I'm 62 years old, but look behind me. There's 12 pillows on the bed. Now, I've been married for 38 years, not quite sure about why there's 12 pillows. Most of them are decorative, have no function whatsoever. So maybe you can put something in the comment section and enlighten me. Anyway, let's get to our topic. What's a good sleep cycle look like? Well, there's actually 4 to 6 90-minute sleep cycles that you go through a night, and they basically break down into 5 phases. And this is fascinating stuff. I don't have time to go into all the details about alpha, beta, theta, and delta waves, but I got to tell you, it's fascinating stuff with the neuroscientists that have broken this down. And you've seen the shows where you have people there in bed and you see all the different brain waves, but it's fascinating. And you'll recognize some of this by your own observation when you're asleep or trying to get to sleep. So what is the sleep cycle? So stage 1 is a really light sleep, and you really can be easily woken up and you don't even miss a beat. It's you're asleep. It's a light sleep. You can be aroused very easily and woken up, nothing to it. Stage 2 is when the brain waves start to slow down, and this is where your body temperature starts to drop. So that's why when we go to bed, a lot of times you find yourself after a while and you're in bed and you're looking to pull the sheets up. Well, that's a good sign. That means you might be moving from stage 1 to stage 2. The waves are starting to slow down a little bit. That's a good thing. Now, stage 3, this is the restorative sleep. This is where the delta waves start to kick in. So during the day, you're really running on beta waves. That's when you're active. And then when, let's say, you take a little chill and you sit down maybe for a while and rest and just chill out and you're not engaged in activity, that's more of like alpha. And then theta waves are kind of like when you're driving down the road and you don't know for the last 5 minutes, you don't remember too much, you're just on autopilot. That's theta waves. But delta waves, these are the ones in sleep that really do give you the function that we have during the day, because without it we'd be lost. So stage 1, light sleep. Stage 2, your brain waves are starting to slow down, your body temperature drops. Stage 3 is more of a restorative sleep. The delta waves are kicking up. Now in this stage, this is if you got woken up and somebody tried to wake you, you would be a little bit disoriented because you were in a deeper level of sleep. That's how you can tell you're in stage 3. And you can have some nights when you're in between stage 1 and stage 2 for maybe a half hour, 40 minutes in the middle of the night, and it just frustrates you. I know it does me. Happens quite a bit because I'm not in stage 3. Now stage 4 is recuperative, restorative. This is really where your body and your immune system and everything else is getting what it needs for the next day. This is the restorative, reconstructive sleep, if you want to call it that. The delta waves now are getting bigger, but they're still not dominating as much as some of the other waves. And the last stage, which is the one that we all love, this is called REM sleep, or rapid eye movement sleep. And if you ever saw some of the videos on TV, you can see people's eyes going back and forth sometimes. This is where the brain waves are actually the same as active brain waves when you were out doing your things. That's why we have dreams. And you always notice when you have a night, when you have a lot of dreams or you have a lot of this activity with the rapid eye movement, especially with your dreaming, this is a good thing. And typically in a night, you're going to go through 4 to 6 of these cycles, about 90 minutes each. Kind of fascinating stuff. But it's a good read. If you ever want to go online and look at it, it's a good read. But when you're in bed, you can probably recognize some of these. So stage 1, 2, 3, and 4, and REM sleep. Now, last thing I want to talk about, and this is a biggie. What should you do what things should you stop doing before you go to bed? Now, this is something that I didn't realize till years later, and that is 8 hours before I go to bed, I shouldn't have coffee. Now, 8 hours means about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. If I go to bed at 11. I shouldn't be having any coffee because it really is going to interfere with sleep. The other thing is 5 hours before. You know, we have a lot of these energy drinks right now and all these other things that have caffeine in them, or they have other type of stimulants. Really be careful with that because it can really have a big impact on your sleep. And you wouldn't think that that far away would make a difference, but it does. 4 hours before, you got to be careful if you do really vigorous exercise. So I know if I'm going to do exercise, I like to do it in the morning or earlier in the day. 3 hours before you go to bed, alcohol and heavy meals can really hinder your sleep. And I'll tell you what, from experience, alcohol really does affect your REM sleep stage. You don't get to that stage quicker. Your sleep's not as restful. And so try to limit your alcohol to 3 hours before bed if possible, and I think you'll see some beneficial effects. And then 1 hour before, digital sunset. Too many of us have too many things going on with social media, with computers, with the blue haze, I call it, of your personal devices. Those are things you want to really shut down or minimize an hour before you go to bed. And of course, when you get in bed, it's lights out, right? Some people like to run TVs and things in the background, but I tell you, the experts have said that can really have a negative impact on your sleep. So I hope some of the tips help. And in the next video, we're going to talk about, like I said, you know, how to get a really good night's sleep. There's a few things you could do, and probably by then, I'm not sure, but right now there's only 12. There'd probably be 13 or 15. I'm not sure. So we'll see you on the next video. And tonight, my hope for you is that you get a great night's sleep.